So is this the best flagship killer of 2021? This is the ZTE Axon 30 Ultra 5G. Now, let's just quickly first take a look at some other premium phones, just to let you know this is a premium device. It's playing at the top of the game right here. You can see right here, S21 Ultra. Definitely a little bit smaller than that, but this is no joke of a phone right here. Just before you start thinking that this is some cheap phone, this is a premier top dog flagship. A couple of things I gotta say is that the presentation was beautiful as well. ZTE Axon 30 Ultra 5G, printed in gold, 30 Ultra right there. Inside the box, it was well presented. Here's what it came with. It came with a 65-watt fast charger. It did come with a USB cable to charge that phone. In addition to that, it also came with a case in the box to protect your investment until you can find a case for this phone. Of course, I would recommend you do put on a screen protector if you want to protect the screen fully, but overall, it's a well-packaged device right out of the box. Okay, so before we go forward, I want to say that ZTE did send this one out for review. However, everything I say here is of my own review. Let's begin with the key specifications right here. A triple 64 megapixel camera. They're calling it their Trinity camera system with Neo Vision photography. We'll talk more about that in the camera section. It does have a sleek design here with like aluminum around the edges, Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the rear of this phone with a frosted material on the back, giving you that really premium feel that we're used to in 2021. It does have a Snapdragon 888, a 4600 milliamp hour battery. It weighs 188 grams, a 95% screen to body ratio on the display here. It does have in-display fingerprint sensor, 144 hertz resolution display. That's the big headlining feature here. 144 hertz. You heard that correctly. No 120 hertz BS. We got the full 144 hertz. This is going to be great for gamers out there. 300 hertz touch sample rate. So what does that mean? Every time you tap something, it's extremely buttery smooth to respond. Everything just blazes right through. In addition, you do get a VC cooling system in here, and it comes wrapped in iOS 11 with Android 11 as the main system right here. So definitely packing quite a bit of specification. I forgot to tell you the front camera is of 16 megapixels as well. So there's plenty going on here in terms of specification. So discussing the body and the build, I gotta say the screen to body ratio of 95% is insane. It's giving you a very symmetrical top and chin, very thin chin right here. Definitely like to see that on Android devices. Really nice overall. Very thin bezels around the edges. And I gotta say this build, while it is a little bit sharp in the corners, that's easily fixed by putting the case on it. I will say that if you're more into the squared look, you will like this phone quite a bit. It does have a 20:9 aspect ratio, but the weight, it's just a comfortable weight, 188 grams. Some of these bigger 6.67 inch phones like this one right here, sometimes they just weigh too much. So this has got a nice weight to it. It's pretty easy to manage day to day. It feels very solid. It doesn't feel any cheaper than any other phone at this price range. It doesn't feel cheap at all, to be quite honest with you. It feels like $1,000 phone, but you're getting it for $750. You can get the 12 gig of RAM version for $850. So it's undercutting the competition by several $100s, yet giving you basically the same exact type of build, which is why I'm calling this a flagship killer here in 2021. So I would say while it's not the most comfortable phone I've held, it's definitely got a premium feel. And if you're into things like the Galaxy Note series, if you're into things like these Sony devices or these phones that have more of a squared look, you'll definitely really like this one quite a bit. But it also curves around the edges, so it kind of mashes a little bit of curve action with some, square action going on. And the front and the back definitely are kind of matching here. So if you kind of see how it wraps around there, on the front, it wraps the same way on the back. So nothing about this phone feels budget, nothing about it feels cheap. All right, guys, so further covering the display, this is a big reason to pick up this device. We do have screen resolutions that go from 60 hertz, 90 hertz, 120 hertz, 144 hertz. ZTE is giving you the option, or you could just leave it in auto. It also gives you a description. Heading out of there, you do have a dark mode. Heading out of there, you have a read mode, which can black and white the phone. Heading out of there, of course, you get a night light. We need blue light filters, don't we? We definitely do. And then right here, you have color mode and temperature. You can make this thing super punchy, saturated. You can head up out of there. You can go to soft, where you basically have a dull screen. I don't know why you would put it there, but some people are just not into the vibrant colors. So you have that option as well. We go to standard here, and you got the color wheel to kind of set it where you want. or you can pick between the presets right here, normal, warm, and cool. I typically leave it over here in normal and standard mode. That's where I kind of like it. Now you can go down here, you'll see full screen display settings. But here's the thing with the display. It gets very bright. It has a nice auto mode, and in sunlight it was easy to see it. It's an AMOLED display right here, definitely giving us 1 billion colors. So it's extremely vibrant, deep blacks, extremely fast to respond to input and things like that, especially because of that 144 hertz display. This is probably one of the smoothest phones I've felt all year, to be quite honest with you. Gestures are very smooth, and overall, I gotta say, it's a major reason to pick up this device right here. Yes, it is a 1080p, 2400 by 1080, so it's not giving you the 2K. However, because of the screen size, the resolution is 395 ppi. So text itself, it's hard to tell the difference between the text on here and the text on a 2K display. So it looks very sharp at 395 pixels per inch. Overall, strong display, a real reason to pick up this phone. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and talk about software. So in this phone, you are looking at iOS 11, which is ZTE's skin over the top of Android 11. It's a very minimal skin. Let me tell you, I'm not kidding with you. This thing just adds a few neat little customizations. It has a vertical app drawer right here with the, A through Z right here, so you can easily find stuff, search bar up at the top. It lays over just a few features in here, including one of my favorite in this phone. It's called the private space right here, where you can go ahead and with your fingerprint, or you have the passcode pattern, whatever you want to do, you can lock applications as well. So that's a nice security feature. You can put pictures in here, password book, files. You have your own private space, but that's only one thing. If we go over here in the settings, we scroll down, Sync Mine allows you to see your 5G connection strength. Right here in the AI system engine, you have the ability to have the phone intelligently recognize when it's kind of slowing down, it'll pick up the speed. It'll also optimize for battery life improvement. Really neat stuff. Heading up out of there, if we go into features, we can change between gestures, buttons. We can go to Z Pop for more of an accessibility mode if you like to have that little circle and you want to just get to quick features. You can record screen right here. Definitely cool there. If you don't like curved screens because you think they have edge mistouch problems, you can go ahead and tweak this sensitivity on this phone. Gestures and motions, plenty of them down here from ways to wake, auto answer. You have pocket mode, flip to mute. You can see it all right here. You can shake to turn on the flashlight. You can schedule to power this thing on and off. You can also use the Wake Up Google Assistant, and within those gestures and motions, they do give you a preview of how to use each one of them. So a lot going on here in the way of features, but it's neatly compacted into that feature section. So everything looks pretty easy to use right here. You can see ZTE does put a little bit of colorful icons along the settings. You got to decide if you like that or not. But if we go over here to home screen and lock screen, you can also theme this out. Let's go to themes right here. Mistap that. You can see you have an Android theme, a geometry theme, you have a classic theme, which I'm going to leave it on, and a nice set of wallpapers included with iOS 11 right here. Nice and colorful. We'll go ahead and switch it out here since we are talking about it. Let's go ahead and set the home screen. You'll see a very nice change right there. So some vibrant wallpapers to really make that, home screen shine right there. You can see ZTE Locker to change your wallpaper on the lock screen and more. There's a lot going on in this phone right here. It's giving you quite a few neat features, but if you know how to use Android and you like it simple, I think they put just the right customizations over this to not make it overbearing with features. You have a power saving mode, an ultra power saving mode here in the battery, and you'll see up here in notification area, you do have simple to use controls, and you can go ahead and edit these out, and they're kind of giving you this nice translucent effect over here to make it look a little bit neater. So overall, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. I like how it's simple, but it's also giving you quite a few neat features that make it a little bit better than maybe a vanilla Android experience, for example. A laser detect autofocus right here, 64 megapixel portrait lens f1.9. Right here, we do have an IMX 686 f1.6 OIS lens right here. And right here, we do have ourselves a wide angle 120 degree field of view with an 8 megapixel telephoto that can zoom up to 5x optical, 10x hybrid, and 60x digital zoom. So you're getting tons of zoom right there, plenty you'll need. The camera itself, let's just go through some of the features. You have photo mode, you have night mode, portrait mode right here with light effects, beauty effects. And if you go to more, you have a manual mode, a panoramic mode, a mono mode for like mono photography. You have magic shutter, a long exposure, a watermark where you can put a watermark for a ZTE. You do have macro mode, a 64 megapixel mode right here, where you can kind of just get the sharpest resolution instead of getting the lower res photos. But those lower res photos just kind of save you space and still give you a very sharp shot. And you do have a moon. I wasn't able to get a full moon right now, but definitely we do have a moon mode right there, which definitely can help you take a shot of the moon with this device. Now you can go 2x, you can go 5x right here, and you can even go 60x digital. So and you could zoom between all of those. So like if you want to go 30x, you can go in between the 5x and up to the 60x. But I gotta tell you, I did take this phone out for some photos and my impressions were pretty good. It took photos quickly. It did a very good job with overall, results and things like that. And this even has this multi-camera mode where you can take one shot and it could take a 1x photo. It could take a shot on all 3 lenses at the same time. So that's pretty fun as well if you want to just take everything at once. Now, when we go to video, this also has support for up to 8K video recording. You could do 4K at 60 as well. So if we go here, and remember that 8K is at 30 FPS. Some phones can only do that at 24. So you see right there, 60 FPS, 4K video recording. Of course, in 1080, you can go 60 FPS, and 720, you can go 60 FPS as well. So a lot of tweaking you could do here with the video. You can put the grid lines as well if you want those on. This thing is loaded with the features. Up here you have the flash, you have an AI mode where it can kind of intelligently recognize what kind of photo it's going to take. And if we go over here, you'll see different aspect ratios. So you're getting a pro camera system right here on the front, a 16 megapixel selfie camera. This also did pretty well. So we'll go ahead and take a photo right there. And the video on the front goes up to 4K at 30. So not 4K 60 here, but still giving you plenty of video capabilities on that rear camera. I gotta say, this is a nice little setup here for $750. You're getting a ton of features when it comes to this camera. Really pushing that flagship grade status, definitely. So instead of me talking about it and just showing you a picture of the box, go ahead and take a look at some of the photo samples I took with this phone and video samples. You could decide if this is gonna be a phone for you when it comes to the camera. For me, this is definitely strong. I wouldn't have no issues taking this out as my main shooter if I had to. All right, so how's the battery been? Well, it's been okay. We're getting through a day. With heavy usage, you might need to charge this thing late at night, for sure. It's not going to get you 2 days with this 4600 milliamp hour with all this power. However, Again, just like with a OnePlus device, the ZTE saves the day with the 65-watt charging. It charges incredibly fast, so fast that by the time you come back to check on it after taking a shower, you're gonna be up 40–50%. So this phone right here, definitely giving you quite a bit of fast charging capabilities, and it comes right in the box. So I'm not really concerned about the battery. It makes it through most of the day. Sometimes if you're pushing it too hard, you might need to charge, but it's going to charge incredibly fast, so no big issues there. And some very nice communication features. You do have 5G, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, USB 3.1, and also gives you pretty good call quality and strength as well. So you can see this is packing the specification. This is stuff you would find on a $1,000 plus phone. So at the end of the day, is this ZTE phone worth it here? I mean, you're getting a ton. You're getting a nice large phone without the weight of a heavy phone. You're getting the premium build, the Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the rear, a quad camera system. You're getting a ton of battery in terms of a 4600 milliamp hour with a 65 watt. That should get you most of the day. You're getting nice storage capacity, 128 gig to start with 8 gigs of RAM, or 256 gig if you really need it with 12 gigs, which you probably don't. This with 8 gigs is a boss. You get an under display fingerprint sensor, 144 Hertz, which is the headlining feature in my opinion. Also, you do get DTS sound on here. So if you want to tweak the way you listen to your music and stuff, you can do that here with this phone. Overall, this feels like a $1,000 phone in a $750 package, and that's why I'm calling it one of the best flagship killers of 2021. If you're okay with going for a ZTE device, you'll definitely be very happy with the money spent on this one. It's a very well packaged phone. You can order it now. I'll leave the links down below where you can pick this up or check it out, more information about this phone. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, let me know down below. If you want to see more surprise awesome phones like this, let me know that as well. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next episode, and peace.